Nigeria and China to re-strategize bilateral ties towards the growth of both countries. Federal government empowers over 5,000 households in Osun State. Nigerian judges converge in Abeokuta for maiden ADR conference. Good evening and welcome to NTA Jabode News at 7. My name is Famoyegun Temidayo. Nigeria and China are re-strategizing bilateral ties with a win-win agenda that is geared towards growth and development of both countries at the 2023 Abuja Forum. Musa Abubakar reports that the forum is pushing for a new chapter that seeks to promote Africa-China Belt and Road cooperation for a new era of common development.
As the third largest trading partner in Africa, Nigeria and China bilateral relations is growing from strength to strength. This forum, credited to Gusau Institute and its partners, is to further explore how Nigeria-China mutual partnership can be extended to areas of inclusive growth and development.
I'm curious to see how Africa-China partnership will help us develop the discipline of implementation and effective delivery.
The first step to renew the hope is a renewed state. SPED, renewed state. And as there, we can say security. We need to renew the security. And also, two here, the first, we need to renew the education.
Combating maritime piracy on the Gulf of Guinea, closing trade deficit gap and infrastructural development, as well as capacity building, dominate discussions at the forum. This is as the countries continue to build on trade relations that has surpassed $20 billion over the years.
I've earlier paid a visit to the Chinese embassy to indicate our interest in partnering with them for infrastructure development. We're trying to open up Taraba to tourism.
They tell us some ideas they have, and also we exchange ideas that there is cooperation where we can learn something from them and where they can learn something from us.
The annual forum is a platform that is designed to strengthen Nigeria's security through partnership in all areas of human endeavor. In Abuja, Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
The Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, has announced plans to ensure that solid minerals take over from oil as major revenue earner for Nigeria. At the closing of the 8th edition of the Nigerian Mining Week, the minister says rearranging security and the solid minerals sector is top on the agenda. Ekene Ndulwe reports.
Nigeria is known to have abundance of precious minerals required to revolutionize industrialization in the country. Inadequate attention in the sector over the years has been the bane of harnessing full potentials of these minerals. For 3 days, investors and key players in the mining sector have been exchanging ideas on how to efficiently manage the huge deposits of mineral resources in Nigeria for economic growth. Minister of Solid Minerals Development is happy with the ideas generated and is resounding government's commitment to new ways of doing things.
We are going to invest heavily in big data generation, efficient data that would enable investors, both local and foreign, to make informed decisions and judgments. We are going to ensure that going forward, all our environments are made safe, operating environments are made safe for the players in the industry.
Commitments have been made, and these key players at this conference are optimistic that resolutions reached will be adopted to provide solutions to identified challenges. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
Judicial officers across Nigeria are in Abeokuta, Ogun State to brainstorm on challenges facing the judiciary and develop policies and measures that will enhance the administration of justice. This is with the aim of strengthening judicial modernism through the deployment of an alternative dispute resolution mechanism for speedy dispensation of justice. Yemi Dalimo completes the story.
Nigeria is aimed at making judicial officers deploy alternatives to litigation by resorting to alternative dispute resolution mechanisms such as arbitration, mediation, conciliation, reduce delay in working of dispute resolution, and avail disputants' opinion from which they can choose to address their specific concerns. President, Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators of Nigeria, Agada John Edachi, and the Chief Judge of Ogun State, Justice Mosumola Dikpeolu, say the conference will provide a peer platform for sharing experience on the implementation of ADR for amicable dispute resolution.
As judicial officers, we need to embrace and encourage the use of ADR in pre-trial conference much more. Most litigation before us are mere simple conflicts.
It is our firm belief that at the end of this conference, my lords will be better informed and enlightened on the workings of ADR and the critical and essential role that the courts must play in the advancement of alternative mechanisms.
Participants want the adoption of ADR to be more rooted in the country and urge judges to begin to issue orders that will encourage adoption of the practice.
This conference, by the grace of God, affords us an opportunity to harness all of what we have been doing, seek better knowledge and better ways of doing things.
When judges have the skills, then when they look at the case, okay, this case will go, instead of spending years in courts, can get those cases resolved sometimes in 2 hours.
It's very important to look at the justice sector, how to reform it, how to make it more responsive, particularly to investors and to business people.
So it is a very right time to go into this kind of a conference so that whatever we learn here, probably as judges too, or as traditional rulers, will brush our horizons.
The week-long program is with the theme, the critical role of the justice sector in the promotion of alternatives to litigation. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalimo, NTA News.
The House of Representatives says it will scrutinize and swiftly pass the 2024 appropriation bill once it is presented by President Tinubu to sustain the January to December budget cycle. This was emphasized during the inaugural meeting of the House Committee on Appropriation. To be back shortly.
Take it from me, the mind-blowing way to do things is the Glow LTE advanced way. When you stream, it's like you're in the drama itself. When you make calls, you reach where others can't. Coffee! Doing business is like running Wall Street from your street. And when you play,
I did beat the guy. We'll see about that.
It's like traveling the world without moving an inch.
Is that Toby in your room?
You can download in the blink of an eye in 4K.
Go, go.
And when you go for your dreams, it's like running with the strength of 3 nations behind you.
Glow LTE Advanced, the power of 3 data networks in one. Get a Glow SIM or dial *301#.
Welcome back. The federal government has empowered over 5,000 households across Osun State through its special National Economic and Livelihood Emergency Intervention. The intervention program held in Osogbo is being carried out by National Emergency Management Agency across the 36 states and FCT to assist victims of 2022 flood disasters and vulnerable groups. Femi Afariogun reports.
72-year-old Mr. Adebayo Razak, a victim of the 2022 flood disaster, and a physically challenged Mrs. Bola Tito or Deniyi were already losing hope when a call from NEMA put smile on their faces.
I'm very, very, very happy because I have no food in my house. This one they give me now, go feed my family and my wife. I'm very so far away. God will bless Tinubu.
Very impressed because By this time in our country, everything is cost. I really appreciate federal government.
They are part of the 5,305 households captured in Osun State to benefit from the Special National Economic and Livelihood Emergency Intervention by NEMA and were given grinding and sewing machines, food and non-food items, as well as agric inputs.
Let us work hand in hand to ensure that the support provided today leads to the recovery and rebuilding of the lives of those who have been affected.
Beneficiaries should not sell their items. They should put it into use because the multiplier effect can turn around the economy of this country.
The distribution exercise for beneficiaries spread across the 30 local government areas of Osun State is expected to last for 5 days. In Oshogbo, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
The need for continued advocacy and a more concerted approach towards tackling stigmatization following breast cancer has been canvassed. Proper education and enlightenment programs are being suggested as critical efforts towards achieving this end. Sandra Akeme reports.
Breast cancer, according to research, is a cancer that forms in the cells of the breast and is a leading cause of mortality globally. To raise awareness on this disease, October every year is declared as the Pink Month to show concern about the disease, including early detection, signs and symptoms associated with it. Ms. Makosi Muzambasi, a survivor of breast cancer from Zimbabwe, shared her experience to serve as motivation for women who might be dying in silence.
I lost my hair, I lost my appetite, I lost my breast. But I thought I would share it because I know that cancer in Africa is still a stigma in some areas. People don't come up to talk about it, but then that's why cancer is killing people. It's not supposed to be.
Medical experts advise that one must maintain a healthy lifestyle and continuous checkups to save lives, and therefore called on the government to step up the game as it is a health concern.
We need to do better. Collectively, the nation needs to stand up and do better, because the truth is that cancer here is largely out of pocket at this point in Nigeria, and it's difficult, it's devastating, and this is where early detection comes in.
I've lost someone very close to cancer, and we don't have enough awareness in Nigeria, and I am passionate and happy and supporting what she's doing.
A non-governmental organization, Sister Skipper Foundation, called on more awareness creation from both public and corporate bodies to help reduce stigmatization. In Abuja, Sandra Akemi, NTA News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has reacted to a media report that INEC's credibility sinks as 94% that contested the election challenged the outcome of the exercise at the tribunal. Graphic statement by INEC National Commissioner for Information, Sam Olumeko, says the report by the Guardian newspaper of Wednesday, 18th October 2023 contains inaccurate figures, mixed up of pre-election cases, skewed comparative perspective. INEC wishes to restate that it is inappropriate to solely assess the credibility of INEC or the conduct of the 2023 general elections on the number of petitions filed by litigants who in any case have the right to do so under the law. Yaga Africa and Election Observer Group is urging the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to review the format of ballot papers used in Nigeria's elections by including photographs and names of candidates to improve quality of electoral preferences and reduce invalidated votes. The Observer Group was reviewing the conduct of the recent Liberian general election. Timothy Yusuf reports.
But in the case of Liberia, you also see a political class, even though there is some sort of elements of desperation, but like we did highlight, that there was patriotism, there was a commitment, to the Liberian state and the Liberian people.
This is Yaga Africa's preliminary finding of the 2023 election study and observation mission to the October 10 Liberia 2023 general election. The delegation to Liberia was led by a former Commissioner for Political Affairs at the African Union Commission and former Nigerian ambassador to Guinea, Aisha Abdullahi, and the Executive Director, Yaga Africa, Samson Itodo. The team enjoined the National Assembly to strengthen the electoral law by making electronic transmission of results mandatory, including upload of polling unit level results and result sheets used at different levels of collation.
And I think that's one of the lessons we brought back home. If INEC could extend the time of its voting from 8 a.m. to not 2 p.m. as it is now, maybe we can extend it to 4 p.m. The time is very important to enable citizens to participate.
The noted that the Liberian National Elections Commission displayed high devotion to rules and procedures throughout the polls, and that officials showed excellent knowledge of rules and enforced guidelines at all levels. Timothy Yusuf, NTN.
Here ends the news tonight. Good night.